Hello. Welcome to the Pointy Stick Podcast, where I, Cuhlaymore, am fairly sad that there will never be another National Dex in another Pokemon game ever again. Most likely.
Rip National Dex.
Dex it.
That was the thing in Pokemon Sword and Shield, right? I get it, right? I mean, for clarity's sake, there's now so many Pokemon that it's, I would say, like a very large task, to say the least, to have them all in like a single game, right? And the National Dex is like what, like the catalog of what would be every single Pokemon ever, you know, but it's just not feasible anymore. Or maybe it is, who knows? But I don't know. Game Freak's always pumping out the games.
Hardcore.
So I mean,
How will we know that we're done with the game?
Yeah.
The National?
Wait, how are you supposed to
No.
become Pokemon Masters, dude?
without the National Dex, I know, right?
It's 150 and more to see.
Yeah.
And to be a Pokemon
Becoming
Master.
a Pokemon Master is all of our destinies.
Has anyone? Okay, no, I don't even need to ask Rob, but has anyone else actually like fully completed a Pokemon game?
Back in Gen 1, yeah.
Yeah.
In Gen
You're
1,
talking
it was
about
easy,
ever?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely did a Gen 1, Gen 2, but it's gotten kind of out of hand.
Rob,
Like,
I would be surprised if you didn't. Actually.
I mean, I haven't completed one since X and Y.
You completed X and Y.
That's pretty
That's
Like,
pretty
Yeah.
isn't that
I
somewhere in
thought
like
that-
the 600-700 area or something like that?
Oh,
Or-
you're talking about the National Dex or
Yeah.
the game? I thought you said game.
National
Oh
Dex.
no,
National.
no, I haven't completed the National Dex since Gen 1.
Ooh,
Okay,
Yeah, no,
okay.
screw that.
Gen 1.
And in Gen 1, I get like the regional was the same as the national, technically.
Right, right.
If that's the case, then maybe this is a good move. right?
Mm,
Including
yeah.
the national. If
Yeah.
none of us have even really attempted to do it.
Except for it's not my favorite thing. I might not have my favorite Pokemon. If Scyther isn't in there, I'm
that-
gonna riot. I'm not gonna buy your stupid game anymore. Give me Scyther or give me Death.
We're gonna get to
Oh.
Pokemon and our history with it later. But yeah, as I said, welcome to the Pointy Stick Podcast. We're a bunch of idiots, I guess. As I said, my name is Cuhlaymore. To my right is my good friend Stefan, aka SuperSheepin. Back with
on record, not an idiot.
I don't know about
I am
that.
not an idiot. I am a simpleton.
You're dumb and stupid, but not at the same time.
I'm just as poor and stupid as you.
Returning once again to the show is our good friend SM, aka Rob. How's it going, man?
I'm an idiot, not a simpleton.
And once again, we have our friend Joe, the Goblin in the Basement, aka Mezzerschmidt. How's it going? Your mic is muted. You son of a bitch. What are you doing?
Never mind.
Or are you just not talking loud enough?
No, I was talking. I said I'm an idiot. But apparently I also have a faulty mic.
I rest my case.
I was gonna say you didn't even put it in words, and somehow we knew what you were trying to say.
Yeah, I'm just good at communication.
Maybe it could have been my headphones, but did any of you guys hear him say anything? No?
Nope, absolutely nothing.
I didn't see anything on the waveform, so I don't think it came through, but that was perfect.
Nope.
Look, I'm not a proud idiot, all right? I don't like saying it loud.
Yeah, well, you're ugly and you're proud? Is that what you said?
Said I'm not a proud idiot.
You're ugly and you're proud.
Wow. I
stupid
find that
and I'm
insulting.
proud.
I'm stupid and I'm proud. Endless SpongeBob references. Okay. Anyway, so I wanted to try something a little bit new here at first. I mean, like I said, and I'm sure I'll have like some idea for the thumbnail and the title and all that. But there's going to be a big talk about Pokemon a little bit later. But one thing I wanted to try this week was, well, I say this week, but, you know, I'm a little bit behind here. Apologies for the delay of this episode, you know, if you're watching this. But I have a couple of news stories that I wanted to talk about. And this is going to be kind of a fast sort of news segment. We're not going to spend a ton of time talking about this stuff, but just big stories in geek culture, games, movies, etc. And I don't want to take too much time up with this, like I said, so I just have some of the stuff that was pretty big over the past few weeks, and one of the things is going to lead us into the Pokemon discussion, so I'll get to that eventually. But the first thing I'm going to talk about here is the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, especially because Stefan here, I think you were super hyped about it at one point. Bloomberg, specifically, if I can bring up my reference here, Mr. Jason Schreier, the author of the Bloomberg article, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game paused amid studio shakeup. This game was announced, I believe, was it 2-3 years ago? Something like that?
It's been a while.
It's been a little while now. The expectation initially was that it was going to come out at the end of this year. Knights of the Old Republic, super big Star Wars game, immensely popular from back in the day, back in 2003, like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's my favorite game of all time.
Oh yeah,
I'm a ginormous fan of it.
Super big deal for you, especially.
Yeah.
But it seems a couple of directors at the studio, Aspyr Media, were abruptly fired. The game's art director and the design director. Supposedly, the game was put on pause. The company would look for new contracts and development opportunities, and so it was widely believed that the game was shelved. For better or worse. Now, it's never good to have like people, especially directors, let go from their positions mid-development of a video game, especially one that's so hyped as this. But I know you, Sheepin, were talking before about your thoughts on this, because it's not necessarily all bad, right? In a way, I think it was something like you didn't have to worry about it necessarily, but at the same time,
okay, you mean that it got okay? So that yeah, okay. I see what you're talking about now. Yes. So as I said, Knights of the Old Republic is my favorite game of all time. I was originally hyped about the remake, but then I kept hearing more and more rumors about them potentially trying to change up the combat, potentially trying to tune up some of the writing and kind of change it a little bit. And that I was not a fan of. So the fact that it got delayed and or shelved, I was actually kind of relieved. Because I didn't really want them to change too much so that it kind of changes the identity and the soul of the game, which very much sounds like what they were doing. Then I kind of swapped a little bit, because then I read into the company that was originally doing it, and it seemed like they were maybe too small to have the resources to actually go through all that.
Aspyr Media.
Right. And then I thought, okay, cool. Maybe that means it will just be like a remaster brought into the modern day. Not like a true full-on remake from the ground up. Now I don't know.
It's been a roller coaster, like.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I kind of just don't want it to come out ever. But if it does,
I don't blame you for feeling that way either.
Yeah, if it does, I hope it's done right, and I hope the reason why they transitioned away from Aspyr and are going to a bigger company is so that they can actually give the resources to do it correctly. I'm kind of afraid though.
Yeah, there's in a way I'm glad that I was a little delayed in getting together with you guys and recording this, because some new stories have come out regarding the KotoR remake ever since those directors were let go a month ago or so. It was like end of July. SM, I know you don't. I mean, we're showing you Star Wars. Yeah, I don't know if you're
Working on it.
But and yeah, I see you over there. Yeah, Embracer Group is the owning company of Aspyr Media and many other things. Recently, they acquired a number of things. Like SM, you wanted to mention that, I think.
Oh, I was just gonna say, since I'm the biggest Star Wars fan amongst the four of us,
Okay.
you know, in my constant quest for Star Wars communities and research and all that kind of stuff.
Hey,
And
it'll happen as soon as you finish Return of the Jedi, man.
I mean, okay, yeah. So for context, I finally watched the first two, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. The second one was better than the first one, but in reality, when I was getting ready to, you know, be part of this, and I was looking up all this kind of stuff, there was an article written yesterday about how after having that article in Bloomberg about the delay, that Aspyr Media is actually now off the project.
Right, yeah.
And it's now a new AAA developer, but details are still a little bit fuzzy. So
yeah,
maybe like for you guys who are actual Star Wars fans, and for Sheepin specifically, right, who's played this game and it's one of his favorites of all time, I'm hoping for you guys that gives you all a little bit more comfort with it going forward, that it's a much larger group with much more budget and resources that they can dedicate to this. But at the same time, if they're switching developers this late, it feels like it's stuck in development hell, and very few projects get out of development hell and turn into something really, really good, especially when it's some sort of revival or remake of a franchise or a game. Because typically, if it goes through that much trouble, the end result is usually not something akin to the original product.
Yeah, look at you, Duke Nukem Forever.
The original vaporware game.
Anything about if they were starting over with this new studio? If they were
so the follow-up articles that came out over the past week, like this past week, I mean today's the 19th of August. Embracer Group making more acquisitions, including Hobbit, Lord of the Rings IP, various other things that I'm not going to get into. One of them, as they were acquiring more things, they were basically changing around which devs were working on what. And the rumor is that Aspyr is off the project entirely now. And back in May, Embracer at least confirmed that Saber Interactive was also working on the game. But now the rumor is that they're just entirely working on the game. They stated themselves, the quote here from VGC is, "One of the group's AAA projects has transitioned to another studio within the group. This was done to ensure the quality bar is where we need it to be for the title. We're not expecting any material delays for the title based on this transition." I don't know what else they would be talking about other than the KoToR remake, right? But yeah, I mean, I would agree. Like, in one way it could be good, but in another way, very few have come out of developmental transition, you know, for the better, right? So,
well, listen, and I have a personal history with maybe having negative expectations going into something like this, and so I'm trying to kind of grow out of that as a person a little bit, right? There are plenty of other things that I'm sure we'll get to, and
yeah, sure,
in more episodes on different properties, right? KoToR is one that's near and dear to my heart, and I'm kind of scared regardless of what happens. I kind of just, like I said, I kind of was hoping that they just would cancel it, because even if it is a slam dunk per se, we've had this conversation on the Final Fantasy VII remake, and how even though it's a really good game and it was by all means a success, it didn't really mesh as well with me as with other people, because I felt like they changed the identity of the core gameplay, and I don't want that to happen with KoToR. And it probably will happen with KoToR, and it's not going to be the same game. And so even at best, I'm kind of hesitant to have any kind of enthusiasm about it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting if it came out and it's like, I've never played KoTOR, so like if I went into it
That's
and
the plan.
you went into it.
The plan. Hey, so just so everyone knows, when this is now in recording, and you can't escape it, Joe. As I'm going through, I'm on my channel where I'm doing a new series where I'm playing through games with each one of these motherfuckers. The one I'm gonna play through with Joe is Knights of the Old Republic, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm
we're
not
gonna
let
play.
you escape.
But we're gonna play the remake.
We're gonna do that one too.
Both.
Yeah, no, but
In a
I think
row.
Compare and contrast.
I think it would be interesting. Maybe we should try to find someone else at that point. I
Mm.
think it would be interesting to bring someone that's never played KoTOR into the remake
Like me?
and to see what it feels like to a new person
Maybe.
Right.
versus what it feels like to someone that's played it before.
I know I'm gonna get
And, like,
involved in that in those shenanigans eventually
sounds
anyway
pretty
too,
good.
probably.
Yeah.
Either on yours or mine, like in some form. But yeah.
Now it sounds like where it was supposed to be this year, and now we're probably at best.
Oh yeah.
2-3 years.
I mean, I think it was originally supposed to be like around my birthday in November.
Yeah. I remember you
So,
saying
like, they
that.
canceled it way late into they took one look at it and they're
Mhm.
like, oh shit, this sucks.
Yeah,
We can't.
I don't know if it was maybe it was one of the VGC articles. Supposedly, the demo that they showed internally to management and the Embracer group, they did not like it, or it did not go over well, which resulted in the directors getting let go. At least that is what I remember reading there. But yeah, definitely not coming out this year now. The expectation that I read from Mr. Schreier himself, the original author on Bloomberg, he thinks it might be in like 2024 at the earliest now, based on what's happened. 25 might be a better better estimation potentially, which, you know, sucks, man, in one way, but hey, at least I see you. Yeah.
If they're switching developers, then you would want it to be 2024, not sooner, because it's just going to be a train wreck if they try to rush it out.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I gotta say though, I didn't realize that Star Wars was a DC property where they have something already built and they're just canceling it before they release it.
But oh my god.
I
thought you'd like that one.
Boo this man. Boo.
I mean, let's be real. Star Wars has taken a lot. We've not mentioned it multiple times. It's taken a lot of L's the last couple of years thanks to Disney. So it's and this isn't necessarily Disney, but it's still under their watch. They're the ones who sold the licensing, sold the rights to game companies. So it's, you know,
at least with the game license, it's not just EA anymore, right? For better or worse, I guess. Not everything was terrible with them. But
yeah, except for how many games did we get? I know this isn't the main conversation, so we can move on. But like, how many games did EA publish with Star Wars? Like 3. And the entirety of the time that they had the license, like, dude, fuck EA. They did nothing with it.
They did nothing. Yeah.
The biggest thing that they did was the loot boxes in Battlefront. Like that's EA's legacy with Star Wars.
Was LucasArts or was there a LucasArts Game Dev division that was under them, or am I thinking of something different?
I'm pretty sure LucasArts got like canceled, or the company
got absorbed or
well, I'm pretty sure
by EA.
I'm pretty sure just straight up doesn't exist anymore. And then just EA was able to choose who they wanted to use the Star Wars rights, which is why I think it was DICE that did Battlefront.
I think you're right. I believe that's true. I could be wrong, but it's on the Frostbite engine if I remember correctly, just like all the Battlefield games. So yeah,
LucasArts didn't just do Star Wars games; they did other games too. I mean, like it's a little lesser known one, but I've recently played through Gladius, right? And I've talked about that game. It's like a strategy RPG, kind of like Fire Emblem esque, that takes place in like a fictional Roman, like gladiatorial arena kind of thing. Like that has nothing to do with Star Wars, but it was LucasArts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the very least, like, I guess me personally, I don't know how to feel about the KotoR remake exactly. I mean, because I haven't played a lot of the past Star Wars games, like the ones from LucasArts and even the ones from EA. I just wasn't ever really too interested in them, but
even in the golden era of Star Wars games, it was a mixed bag. Like there were even
I
at
see.
its best, you had the KoTORs, the Battlefronts.
I think Rogue Squadron was pretty good.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron, the
little.
Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, right? All that. But again, and I went into this on my Republic Commando video. Like for every one of those, you had the Super Bombad Racing or Master of Terastalize or just absolute garbo games that no one wants.
All of these things mean nothing to me.
Like
absolutely nothing.
Don't worry.
I'm sorry,
the majority of this conversation is going to be more up your alley, or I think we're moving past it now.
Yeah.
Not even for that. Not even for that. It's just you're naming all these subtitles, and I'm like, sure, okay, that sounds Star Wars-y.
Looks like
the irony is that despite never playing the original game, despite never watching Star Wars until the last 2 months, I actually do have some fondness and affection of the original game because back in the day when we were running websites and all that other kind of stuff, when we started to get big, a couple of the members of our forum actually split off and made their own forum called KotoR. And it was Knights of the Old Randomness. And it was a meme board before memes were a thing. In fact, I got so nostalgic that I went and I looked it up. And I looked up the entry for myself, and it's just fantastic. I'll have to read it for you guys sometime and see if you agree with it or not.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Yeah, I can read it. It's from let me see.
Maybe
it's from
time
2005. So let's see how much I've changed since 2005.
Oh God.
All right, so the entry for SM, and I'm going to show this to one of my friends, so I'm going to start laughing because I know he's going to watch it. And my entry is possibly one of the most erratic and spontaneous beings alive.
Yeah, it sounds like
the SM is capable of going above and beyond the expectations of everyday folk have set for him. However, people's opinions of him are that he is quite incompetent and stupid. During the past year, this outstandingly stupid creature has proclaimed that people's opinions don't matter, that the PlayStation Portable owns the Nintendo Dual Screen, the "Hey guys, PSP owns DS" meme. And for that reason, the closure of his Mario board was due to acts of irrationalism.
Okay.
Other achievements of this creature are their great gullibility, seen when he allowed a certain master of a Sonic Team Incorporated character back to the boards after rumors of helping him hack the original Mario board, after pleading his innocence by admitting he wanted to merely blackmail the intended hacker, which that's going to make no sense to anyone. Really, it's the first two lines: the most erratic and spontaneous beings alive and incredibly stupid.
How long ago was this?
What's up?
How long ago was this?
5.
This was 2005.
Oh.
I have one question and one question only after what you just read to me.
Yeah.
What's your fursona?
That's fair.
On that note,
it's obviously Sonic.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, it's got to be at least some
Sonic
kind of
adjacent.
Sonic
adjacent. Again, you say that, but you can, we reference Jay on this all the time, and you can ask him. One day, randomly, before it was a thing on the internet, I came up with the "Your Name the Hedgehog" search game.
You're
completely independently.
I don't believe you.
Ask Jay after this episode. Message him. Be like, is Rob screwing with you guys? He will tell you 2 or 3 years before it was a meme. we were already doing your name plus the hedgehog on Google. Absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
true. We're gonna.
Yeah, Rushla knows this.
We're gonna move on. It's just.
Okay, hold on,
People
hold
the
on,
internet.
hold on. Just in case anyone doesn't know about the your name is the hedgehog.
Yeah, that's probably some needed context.
Okay. Whoever you are, if you're watching this podcast, Google your name. My name's Stefan, so for me it'd be Stefan, and then add the hedgehog at the end. There is a DeviantArt hedgehog with your name on it, attached to it. It exists. 100%. And it's going to be the cringiest thing you've ever seen. And you can use it to make fun of all your friends because their hedgehogs are more cringe than yours.
It should be an internet rule. It should be an internet rule, like 34 and 63 and, all the others. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, now we can move on.
Now we can move on. Oh, God. Okay. After that, wonderful digression.
All downhill from here.
Oh my God! We could go further downhill. Jesus Christ!
Oh yeah.
Oh,
okay.
You have not even seen the depths of depravity that exists in
let's
my mind.
not.
You haven't seen the depths of depravity that have existed in me and Stefan's other recordings.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con.
No, not San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh no!
You're gonna kill Rob. Oh no!
You guys will see when the video highlights are all put together in a lovely package. That was fantastic.
Every year, or at least maybe not recently because of the pandemic, there's San Diego Comic-Con. Marvel's usually always there doing stuff. Mr. Kevin Feige was there this past month, revealing and talking about all of the upcoming animated shows, movies, and Disney Plus projects as of this recording that are going to happen. I have a subreddit thread here, courtesy of r/Marvel Studios. Thank you. And I'm gonna just quickly go through some of the notables here. There was way too much to talk about everything, and I would rather not. Especially because my feelings on Marvel have kind of changed recently. Because just a week ago or so, we went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder, and it wasn't it wasn't incredible, to say the least. I didn't hate it.
Five
but,
Marvel for me.
Yeah,
I cannot believe those words just came out of Rushla's mouth.
I know, right?
Shocking.
I know, right? I know.
I liked it more than.
Are you on Team Sheepin now?
No. Far from that. I didn't hate it. It's just I didn't
hated it.
It was fun and funny.
Why'd you hate the movie?
But I don't know. Like, the reason that I go to see Marvel movies is for, like, part of it is the interconnectivity, and it didn't hit right for me. I don't know. But
it was weird. Yeah, it was off.
But anyway,
talk about it. Set up a whole spin-off for every single god in the universe. What's possibly more interconnected than that? Where do we get the Hercules movie?
Yes, because that's what every Marvel fan wants. The Hercules movie.
Spoilers, by the way.
It's a pretty good Disney movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there were quite a few things, and I just lost my place here. There we go. Okay, so this year there aren't going to be any more movies except for Black Panther 2, or Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and it was announced that is going to be the end of Phase 4, as Mr. Feige put it. First 3 phases being the start to Avengers, and then was it the next movie up through Age of Ultron, or maybe it was Ant-Man, the one that came after that, and then obviously Phase 3 up through Endgame or Far From Home. Yeah. This is Phase 4, and the saga has been officially dubbed the Multiverse Saga, unsurprisingly. Now, all of Phase 4, very briefly, I would say, has felt very disjointed. I mean, if it's gonna be about multiversal stuff, I guess that kind of tracks in a way, but at the same time, all these individual movies with so much setup compared to, say, phase 1 or any of the other phases for that matter. It's lacked a lot of the connecting tissue like we've gotten used to over the past like 12, 13 years. And to me, it's just felt very, not bad, but just at best strange and at worst disappointing or like less than average, I guess you'd say. What do you think, SM? Because you and I and Joe over there too, we go to basically every one when it comes out. We watch Disney Plus. So like, what do you think?
Well, for starters, I do completely agree with everything you said, and I also feel differently about Marvel in the last little bit than I did, when I was more of not really a super fan, but when I was far more into it a couple of months ago.
At the very least, like you've been watching all the movies you've been missing. Like some of the more recent ones really got you into it, and so. Yeah.
I think it's a situation where it's they're just introducing too much too fast, and because they're now using other formats that are not just movies, like such as the shows on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah,
they're bouncing viewers around different platforms and requiring them to put in significantly more effort in order to fully get the value of the interconnectivity of their universe.
Like, Doctor Strange 2 is a good example where...
That's where I was going with it, yeah.
You needed to watch WandaVision.
Right. And so, like, if you didn't have Disney Plus and you didn't watch WandaVision, that movie hits totally different. Whether it's better or worse is up to the viewer, but I think most people would say it's not as good. So the interconnectivity used to be nice. What's up?
It's kind of jarring even if you watched it.
In terms of the tone and some of the character development,
like
sure, but in terms of just understanding the movie and how it leads into, or I should say the show and how it leads into the movie, that's a different thing. For me, it's just like I always liked the interconnectivity, but the interconnectivity to me always kind of converged when you got to an Avengers movie or an occasional like one-off pairing,
or like
you take Thor 3 with the Hulk and all of that kind of stuff,
or like a Cap 3 Civil War type of deal, right? Something
which
like
was
that.
an Avengers movie,
basically.
I mean,
it basically was, yeah.
And so it's just that now you have to spend the effort to basically watch all of these different things coming out at a rate that is incredible, but it means that it's also extremely saturated.
Right.
And I think that's where it's starting to lose me a little bit because it just doesn't feel the same as it did before. Like a new Marvel show or movie isn't special or an event to look forward to anymore because there's 25 of them now a year.
Yeah, She-Hulk just
obvious
came
exaggeration.
Out. She-Hulk just came out, and I still haven't watched episode 1. I probably will eventually, but I haven't even watched Miss Marvel either. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just that things have just become so... It's not that they're boring or that they're uninteresting. It's just... It's another new thing for another new character. That's gonna connect somewhere eventually, probably. But I'm gonna have to invest myself in this now and remember this so that I can be entertained further down the line. And it was so much easier in the first 3 phases. It felt
exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's the required effort of the viewers that is bringing it down to me. Because before it was just like, oh, I'm going to a movie, and if I've seen some of the previous Marvel movies, it's fine. Now it's like, all right, I have to make time for 6 weeks in a row to watch an hour episode of this every week, or I have to binge it. And the other thing is like, I might not be sure if that matters in the next Marvel movie or not. And so if I'm unsure, then I might just be watching it because I feel obligated to rather than because I really want to. Yeah. I also think one last point, and then I'll pass it over to Sheepin. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt a few seconds ago.
You're good.
I also think that they are doing... I don't want to say they're doing the multiverse approach wrong, but it's different than how I would do it. Because I think the reality of where Marvel is that they obviously started with some of their most well-known characters, and now they're kind of off on their secondaries. And that's fine because like there's some cool things you can do there and all that kind of stuff. But what I would have done is I would have done a simultaneous but slower paced release of all of these new characters. But I would have used the multiverse aspect to explore some of the more popular characters we've already seen in a different way.
Right.
Like, for example, in the current multiverse, or I should say in the current cinematic universe, Iron Man is dead. But we know there's a multiverse out there where he's alive.
Right.
And whether it's Robert Downey Jr. or not, the reality is Iron Man is a much more beloved and recognizable character than Ms. Marvel. And I watched Ms. Marvel and I thought it was great.
Okay.
But you could have both, and you could slow down the pace of how quickly it's expanding if you were willing to revisit some of the stuff that's already been established in a different way. That's how I would have done it, because now it's like a learning curve, right? Like there's required watching, all that kind of stuff for every single thing Marvel. And for me, it's a little bit tiring. I actually don't think much of the quality has gone down that much. It's just that as it's become more formulaic and it's become more of a higher barrier to entry, the payoff isn't as strong. And so that's what I got on that one. So I'll pass it over to Sheepin.
Yeah,
sure. Like, and take, I guess, everyone who is a Marvel superfan, take what I say with a little bit of a grain of salt, because I'm not a Marvel superfan. But phases 1 through 3 had a very distinct point. Phase 4 so far has felt much less needed, like necessary. It almost feels like, okay, we told the story we wanted to tell with phases 1, 2, and 3. Now we don't know what to do, but we're still a company. We still need to make money. We have properties and we have a fan base. Let's try to make money. Like, that's very much what it feels like to me. And maybe that's a little bit more, I guess maybe that's the most negative view you can have of it. But it doesn't seem to have the same soul. And that's even something that I've criticized even in phase 1, 2, and 3 about how all the movies, even with different directors, kind of felt the samey, and that was kind of a criticism I had, and why I wasn't a super fan of Marvel. But there was, for lack of a better word, I know we've talked about this, SM, how the word charm doesn't really
I know
mean
you're going to say
anything.
charming,
Yeah, but there was like a little bit of that, for lack of a better word, Marvel charm within the first 3 phases. I don't feel like that's a thing anymore. And even with something like we watched Moon Knight. I liked Moon Knight. I thought it was pretty good. It didn't have the same Marvel feel to it. We've only watched the first episode of Miss Marvel. I can't really say too much about it, other than after the first episode, it kind of, to us, just, or I guess I don't want to put words in your mouth, Joe, but it kind of felt like a Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, like, teen drama, which is fine, but like as a 31-year-old dude, like, that just doesn't really appeal to me, especially when I'm not a Marvel fan to begin with. And it just seems like the characters that they're choosing to shelve out it's just like, well, we already had our big hitters. Our actors want to move on and do other things. So what are we going to do? We're going to just like shoehorn as much as we possibly can to see if anything sticks, is what it feels like.
I think there's a different issue that I think touches on both of what you and SM were saying. Is that I feel like a lot of the characters are less grounded than they were in phases 1 and 2. The powers are getting a little bit extraordinary. There's not as much of a real sense of danger, although in some areas they've done okay. But like, I don't think like in the new Thor movie you ever really thought Thor was gonna die, or like that the stakes were that high at any point, right? I think they've lost a little bit. There were some stakes, but did you really ever think that it wasn't something bad was really gonna happen?
Maybe not to Thor, or I mean, like, so I guess there's context too, because I mean, like, all the crazy powers and stuff from the comics are, but like, I guess my expectation going in was going to be that Thor wasn't gonna die, but that he was going to get replaced by Mighty Thor, or Jane. because essentially that's, as I understand, that's what happens in the Mighty Thor comic.
And they had some decent character moments in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of the rest of the movie was just like kind of throwaway one-liners, and
it's like moment to moment, set to set type of deal for me, basically.
Yeah, I just think, well, because they're running around the entire universe and stuff.
Right.
I think it's just a little bit less grounded than it used to be, and I think that kind of explains both what Sheepin and SM are talking about.
Yeah,
and that's also why Spider-Man is the best current Marvel franchise.
No Way Home was pretty fun. I loved No Way Home.
That actually, weirdly, quite liked Loki.
I like Loki too for what it was. That is Did you have one more thing, SM?
Oh, I was just going to agree with the grounded point.
Oh yeah,
you basically were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So
no,
we were just both on it at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good segue here too, because Loki actually, again, the whole required watching thing, but the one thing, and I would say, is that there are, like, the whole required watching thing is definitely a concern now because of how disjointed everything feels and probably is. And after, after SDCC, we now have at least a better idea of what they're trying to do. It just took them a friggin' long time to actually get there. Going into what is now Phase 4, we actually didn't know when the end of it was going to be. So it's like, okay, how far are we going to go into this before we actually know what's actually up? And we do know now, but it's now how long after Endgame? And, now we, I think this is like a major contributing factor to why we feel this way now too, even as like Marvel fans, right? But like, yeah, basically what they've announced past Phase 4, and again, not going to go into everything here. There's going to be a What If Season 2. I thought What If was fun. It's very loosely connected, but
canon, right?
Yeah, but there's going to be an Ant-Man 3 where apparently Kang the Conqueror himself is going to be in that, and he is a major villain in terms of Marvel as a whole, especially in a multiversal scale type of thing. And if you did watch Loki, something required watching, you'd know a little bit about that too. I'm going to skip around here a little bit. There's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3 next year. Always loved Guardians of the Galaxy. There's going to be a Loki Season 2, of course. There's going to be a Marvels movie, which is going to have Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. I believe, who was it in WandaVision that one? It was Captain Marvel's friend's daughter who got powers by passing through the the barrier. I think she's going to be in that movie too, as I understand. I could be wrong about that.
Isn't her superhero named Photon?
I thought it was Echo. She might have different names across like her comic or different publishing.
Yeah, totally possible. I mean, her name in the show or like in the cinematic universe is Monica
Photon?
Rambeau.
Yeah, that's
so. I
I
thought she was Photon, but maybe I didn't catch that. Maybe I was wrong.
One thing that has me excited is there's going to be an animated Disney Plus show called X-Men 97, where it's going to be the style of the old 90s X-Men cartoon, complete with Wolverine in his like, yellow jumpsuit with like the big black like spikes on his eyes and shit. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to that. It was a kind of a nostalgia thing. All this stuff I've said, by the way, is 2023.
This is 2020. Jesus Christ.
But that kind of goes to our point, right? Like you're gonna get hit with Marvel stuff every 3 or 4 weeks.
I've skipped over a couple of things too,
and it's a lot, right? Yeah. It's a lot. There is such a thing as oversaturation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, I'm excited for like one of these.
Yeah, there's gonna be a new Blade movie. And then there's going to be an Agatha Harkness show, which is relates from WandaVision, basically.
Right.
What are they even gonna do?
Yeah. This is, and also all this stuff I've been talking about is Phase 5. Going from there into 2024, we have a new Daredevil show on Disney Plus, which is kind of cool. I've heard only good things about the Netflix one. And
they're gonna revive it, obviously, right?
Oh yeah, Charlie Cox is back.
They got the same actor to come in the Spider-Man movie,
which is pretty cool.
That's
nice that they're
kind of the only reason I'm excited about it is because of that. I actually really, really like the Daredevil Netflix show.
I think the Kingpin actor and who's the main love interest? Dom was talking about her the other day.
Deborah Ann Woll.
Yeah, she's back too. Her actress. Yeah. It's gonna be. I have a good feeling about that.
Thunderbolts. The heck is that?
I gotta admit, like on record here, like I'm not well versed in comics. I know about them as I read up about them after I see the movies.
Same.
Because they are interesting to see how they differ, because they're definitely on a different writing track. There's going to be another Cap movie with Falcon, Captain America, Thunderbolts, a Marvel Zombies animated Disney Plus show, I guess from that universe from the first season of What If, an animated Spider-Man show, which is a prequel, I think, of sorts, of his freshman year in high school, or it might be college. I'm not sure. But that's all of Phase 5, and then much of Phase 6 is still unknown.
If it's college, then it's not a prequel.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, like, the way I thought of it was gonna be a prequel from what I read, but I mostly just know the name. I don't know. It says it's in development still.
It'd make more sense if it was high school.
But Phase, and that's like Phase 5. There's Phase 6 is gonna be where it culminates in what is the next Avengers, saga.
Take that long to get another Avengers?
Don't skip over the greatest one.
Oh God.
Another Fantastic Four reboot. Oh my
I was gonna
God.
say, yeah. I will say I have at least a tiny amount of faith in this.
Oh my God, get out of here.
But
how many times can you be burnt by the same bullshit property to just like
I know.
Just kill it with fire? It's gone.
It's not being handled by Fox this time.
Stop it! He's already dead.
Here's the thing, right? Like, I don't think the Fantastic Four have crazy, disgusting power. Like, they could definitely bring that back down to a bit of a level where it's like not as insufferably like overpowered. I feel like.
Everyone go watch Fant 4 Stick.
I'm not gonna do that. But
yeah.
I will say this, and I don't know the actual credibility of any of the reporting, but I remember when Disney acquired Fox, right? And that means they acquired X-Men and Fantastic Four and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I remember there was rumors that Chris Evans was interested in reprising his role. I think he was Human Torch. I actually never saw the other Fantastic Four movies from the mid 2000s.
Yeah, that's right.
My God, that would be a pretty sick move though. If he went from Captain America and then he was in Marvel's Fantastic Four, because
really funny.
Well, for one, it would just be funny, right?
Yeah,
it would just be funny. But two, given that we're doing all the multiverse things, I think they could have a lot of fun with that.
Interesting. Yeah,
I think they could have a lot of fun. And obviously, like, there's going to be a layup joke about like, wow, you look like Captain America or something like that. But like, it would be fun in a self-aware way. And honestly, I think Marvel could use a little bit of self-awareness right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping for that.
They already kind of set it up because in the multiverse, right? We already met one Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, in a way.
In that universe, at least.
Yeah. I mean, they could definitely they could definitely bring Chris Evans back into whatever Alpha universe it is, but like through a jump or something, and he's the Human Torch this time. Like, I don't know, could be interesting.
Other than that, in Phase 6, they haven't really confirmed much else other than 2 Avengers movies, which I'm going to get to in a sec. There are, as I count them, 7 Disney Plus shows in Phase 6, and if you count the Avengers movies, 5 or 6, I think, movies. The 2 Avengers movies, one's releasing in May 2025, and the other one is November 2025, which is really close together.
Back Avengers.
The Kang,
after like a really long drought.
Yeah. The Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, respectively. Kang Dynasty is unsurprising. Secret Wars, I suppose, is a little more surprising, but it's also, as I understand, a multiversal story from the comics that they would be approaching here. So I guess for those that do know the comics, this would probably be not surprising at all, considering that this has been dealing with and going in the direction of multiverse stuff. But I honestly have no idea where they're going to go from here. There's other stuff too that they've confirmed that it doesn't have a release date yet. Like there's going to be a second Shang-Chi movie. There's going to be a third Deadpool movie. Speaking of Shang-Chi, director of the first Shang-Chi movie is going to be directing Kang Dynasty, which I loved Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was an awesome movie, so I have faith there as well. But yeah, other than that, there are rumored stuff like What If Season 3, already another X-Men 97 season, Spider-Man sophomore year, highly rumored stuff like Young Avengers, Midnight Suns, another Spider-Man film, many, many other things, including World War Hulk, Ghost Rider. These are all very, very like rumored, big grains of salt.
Is Nicolas Cage coming back?
We can only hope. Big, massive mountains of salt with some of these.
Well, and Phase 6 isn't fully known yet, right? Because like it.
Literally, it's just the Avengers movies and the Fantastic Four movies that's known.
Because I would assume Spider-Man's getting something, if only because of Sony, not even because of Marvel.
And it's Spider-Man, right? Come on,
right? And there's no way, because Disney acquired Fox a year ago or 2 years ago. There's no way they're going to go 5 full years without X-Men, right?
It must have been too.
Like there has to be an X-Men movie in Phase 6. I would be shocked if there wouldn't be.
Bring him in. Because like there's like especially X-Men and Fantastic Four have some of the biggest like characters that are part of the overall Marvel mythos, like friggin' Doctor Doom of Fantastic Four, especially Magneto
they will get people to
from the X-Men
to the theater.
Right?
They'll just get people to come to the theater. So it'd make no sense to go acquiring Fox and then not make that movie.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff in
it's a ton,
2.25 year.
And like, I guess at least it's nice that we're like well fed, but at the same time, it's like we're already starting to feel the side effects, right? Like we're having to follow all of this, and it's so much more saturated than the first 3 phases. It is what it is, but at the same time, it is what it is.
Being well fed is one thing, but then having your parents make too much pasta and then say you have to finish it in order to leave from the table. Those are 2 different things.
It reminds me
Is there a personal story here?
Oh no. There's that one scene that have you guys seen the second Wreck-It Ralph movie?
Yeah.
There's a scene where they didn't include it in the movie in the end, but it was like a post-credit scene instead where Ralph's like pushing the button and making the pancakes appear and force feeding the little cute bunny rabbit sitting at the table, and he just kept eating and eating and eating. And then the girl watching this on her little tablet screen,
Nintendo Switch or whatever.
I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, I guess, but I don't know. I still like Marvel.
They're actually gonna make a Hercules movie? Oh my god!
Big grain of salt. Massive mountain of salt. Highly rumored, not confirmed. Get out of here.
No, it's just on the list.
Yeah.
You need to have Kevin Sorbo come play it.
There's quite a lot of...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Maybe we could have maybe it's a Hercules movie with Kevin Sorbo with very heavy Christian undertones.
Oh my god.
Make Mount Olympus great again.
We're gonna move on. Jesus. Let's get away from Marvel and get on to like the main thing we were here for, or at least the thing that I wanted to talk about.
Politics.
Here. No,
I'm here to make Sheepin laugh. So I already accomplished that.
No.
No, you're right. We mentioned Kevin Sorbo, so religion.
Oh
okay.
my god.
Kirk Cameron, everybody, is in the news today.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna quickly go over the details of the Pokemon Direct video that Nintendo put out. It was like a little more than 2 weeks ago now. We're not going to talk about any new Pokemon for Stefan's sake and for your sake, so you don't get spoiled by any new creatures in the game. But what I will do is talk about what was shown in the trailer, or we'll talk about it.
Systems.
Yeah, the systems and the gameplay. You know, the stuff that the Pokemon are cool and all, but
the stuff that nobody cares about. No one gives a shit about Pokemon because of the gameplay.
I mean, you could probably make a decent argument about that because people will buy the game anyway because of the Pokemon they like, right? You know, but
largest franchise in the world, media franchise in the world.
Isn't it like
everything in it?
And below that, it's like what, Star Wars and Harry Potter, and it's like more than both of those combined or something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know.
It's absolutely.
This is slander. Everyone knows that Digimon is more popular than Pokemon.
We're gonna make an episode about Digimon eventually, maybe.
Actually,
didn't that new game come out?
It did.
Right.
It did.
The Pocket Digital Monsters.
The second largest media franchise is actually Hello Kitty.
Oh,
Hello Kitty.
Okay.
That is really disappointing, but not surprising.
Right.
Well, like Pokemon is $118 billion. What I said is not true. Pokemon is $118 billion. Hello Kitty right below it is $88.5 billion. So it's like...
It's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference because everything below that is kind of hovering around the same $80 billion thing, like Mickey Mouse, Winnie the Pooh, Star Wars. Or Star Wars is around like 69 billion or so. But yeah, Pokemon is absolutely the biggest out there by a landslide.
So everyone grab your Digiballs because we are going to talk about Digimon.
Get the fuck out of here. So briefly, some of the things they talked about in the trailer. Every year they usually have a Pokemon World Championship. It's actually happening this weekend now as of this recording. They didn't have one.
Day 2's already going on.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
They didn't have them over the past couple of years because of the pandemic, but in addition to the traditional stuff like the handheld games, the card game, they've also been doing Pokken Tournament, which is kind of cool that they're still supporting that. However, I think this is the last year they're doing it.
Do they still do that? What was that Pokemon MOBA?
Pokemon Unite. Yeah, that's a year old.
Tournaments for that too?
Yeah, they actually are doing that too.
Okay.
They're doing a tournament for Pokemon Unite, which is turning a year old. And they're also doing a Pokemon Go tournament, believe it or not, which is pretty crazy that it's this big still after like 5 years.
How do you have a?
I think you can fight. You can battle now.
Yeah, I think you can battle each other now.
Wasn't battling each other just like flicking the screen though?
I think there's a system to it, but like it's definitely not like your traditional Pokemon battling. That's for sure.
There's a lot of tapping.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
I don't know if it was flicking your screen, but or maybe it was.
It's a lot of tapping. It's a lot. Of tapping.
A lot of tapping.
One last detour, and I apologize
for
this one last detour, but I saw it on r/fellow kids earlier today.
Oh no!
And that was the U.S. military advertising enlistment by saying you get to travel all over the world and discover Pokemon with
Ah.
Pokemon Go from all over the world.
Oh no!
Shit, sign me up, dude.
We all know our friend Ben. Like he would see that.
He
and
would
be
do
like,
that.
oh yeah, like
Oh,
that's
He would be like, wait, they're gonna pay for me to go?
Ben is a
Right.
mobile game fiend, dude. He would do that.
Well, he bought a second phone and second data plan just for Pokemon Go. He walks around. Wait, Sheepin, you didn't know this?
Oh, Ben.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew he was really into Pokemon Go. Did not know about this.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
he
yeah.
has a second phone. He has a dedicated device and dedicated mobile plan just for Pokemon Go. When we went to Seattle a couple years ago, he spent more time on his second device than he did hanging out with us, and we hadn't seen him in like, what, at that point, like 8 years?
You're exaggerating a little bit, but
Well, he didn't come with us. He didn't come with us to Myrtle Beach,
Well,
so we hadn't seen him since college. Well, I hadn't seen him
that was
since
a little
college,
far
which
for
was
him
like
too, but
Okay,
Right.
you're right. I had seen him in Long Beach because
Right. So I hadn't seen him, and like I couldn't believe it because he's like we would be in the middle of an activity. We'd be like hanging out. We went to PAX West, and you'd be like, "No, I can't wait in line and play this game. I got to go catch this wild Charmander that's over that way." Like, all right. He's like, "Here, can you hold my other phone? I have the one I need."
Ben,
Like,
Ben, if you ever
And
watch
that
this,
he
I mean,
always,
we love Ben. I'm not making
always
fun
had
of
a
him.
backup battery. Always had a backup.
if you ever
He
watch
did.
this, Ben,
Yes,
Or
he had a whole
two.
setup in his backpack
two,
for Pokemon
yeah.
Go.
if you ever watch this, Ben, we love you. We really do. Like dead serious, we do.
Are we positive that Ben's not in this Pokemon Go tournament?
He very well could be. It
possible.
wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, so yeah, World Championship stuff. Usually in all these Pokemon Directs, they go over a lot of things in their usual titles too, like new creatures appearing in Pokemon Go. There's seemingly an ongoing story, even with the professor in that game, which is a little surprising for a mobile title, in my opinion. Like I said, Pokemon Unite is having its first anniversary, and they're doing special stuff. The Pokemon Masters gacha game is 3 years old, and they're doing special stuff. Pokemon Cafe is doing special stuff, and it's really not my jam, but it's cool to see them thrive, and I guess it just proves how huge Pokemon is still, even after 25 years. Anyway, unless you guys have anything to say about those, let's get to the actual reason that we want to talk about Pokemon here.
I mean,
game
since we're
every year.
recording this after the news broke of it, I don't know if you guys saw the VGC intro, but they had a nice little spotlight on Pachirisu,
Oh, of course.
and that's great for anybody who knows their competitive Pokemon.
Oh my
history.
God. Yeah, I know what
for
you're
those who
talking
don't-
about.
Yeah,
Somebody
for
winning.
those who don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
For
go-
those who
go
don't
ahead.
know, there was an extremely anti-meta pick a couple years ago where someone picked Pachirisu
Little tiny electric
of
squirrel.
all Pokemon. Right.
It doesn't evolve
Considered
or
to have
anything.
Zero viability.
And they won,
Yeah, it
right?
was-
They won.
They did win.
That's
They did win.
That's
and-
actually insane. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah, so Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Generation 9 of Pokemon. Jesus Christ. And Violet. I'm writing my notes here. So, quite a lot of info was revealed in this because the only thing we had before this was just a little live-action trailer of a train station employee in Japan getting sucked into a room and, revealing the starters. So, first of all, Scarlet and Violet are going to be open-world RPGs, which is awesome. The closest thing we had to that was the Wild area, was it called that, in Sword and Shield? And that was rather disappointing for me.
Before we go further,
Yeah.
what's the best new starter?
Oh no, we're gonna talk for another half hour about this shit.
Well, no, just quickly, what's the best new starter? It's an easy question.
It's a very difficult question.
I don't think it's a difficult question.
Oh man.
I think of what we know so far. It's the duck,
Hmm.
the 1960s.
You like
greaser
Quaxley?
duck.
I think you like Quaxley for his name.
You don't like Weed Cat?
True.
Weed Cat. Sprigatito is his name.
It's
Nobody
Weed
likes
Cat.
Fuecoco. Not that I do, but
I think everyone likes Fight Coco, but
I
actually like I haven't.
You haven't seen them, Stefan?
I have.
Okay.
Because
I know you're not avoiding spoilers and stuff. So
yeah, so okay, so I like to avoid Pokemon design spoiler. I mean, you can't avoid the starters, you can't avoid the legendaries.
That's fair.
Other than that, like the greatest thing about Pokemon for me as a kid was when I would go around the different zones and I just like, oh, what the fuck is that?
No, you're right. Doing spoilers.
What is that Pokemon? Is that an ice cream cone?
Yeah,
yeah.
So I
a trash bag.
I personally like to avoid as much of the new Pokemon as possible with any new generation because it's kind of the only way I get that little bit of nostalgia back and like that feeling of child wonderment. It's one of the few things that does it for me is like new Pokemon and new gens and that's why I kind of like other games that do that too. Anyways, so now that that's out of the way, I have seen the starters. I think based off the memes, yes, Weed Cat is the best. However, I actually think when I played through on my profile, I'll probably pick Fuecoco, to be honest.
The way he's designed comes off like he almost looks like a little chili pepper with like little stem on the top, and I have no idea what he's going to turn into, but that's probably what's going to sway my decision, like what I like the best too.
He reminds me of a little bit of Totodile, and
I can see that.
Gator was my favorite.
Yeah. If I had to pick out of the original starters.
Starters?
I mean, like, or rather, just the three.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I was like,
when you say
my
original
grandma's terrible,
starters,
though.
that means something.
You want to get some fighting
Oh no,
going?
we'll be here for hours. No way.
Everyone knows it's Squirtle. There's no reason we need to talk about this. It's obviously Squirtle.
I'm a Bulba bitch for sure.
It's clearly Charmander, but that being said, nothing beats Chikorita.
You know, you say that, but
can't even say that with a straight face, can you?
Get out of here!
Oh man,
it is.
Anyway,
I'm a Chikorita defender. I love. Meganium
I would pick
too.
Sprigatito probably just based on the thing right now. I would hope that he stays quadrupedal, but he's probably not going to.
I hope he just like.
You said Incineroar clone.
Oh God.
Have you seen all those?
Yeah, Incineroar dyed green.
Yeah.
I hope his like final evolution, his tail is just like a joint that's like on fire. And he's like Gray's a grass fire type.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
That would be kind of sick.
Oh my God. All right.
Doing this.
So yeah, the games.
It's already done.
Yeah.
We just don't know, but it's already done what it is.
The games. So they're open world RPGs, which is a first for the series, as they say, putting aside the wild areas and Sword and Shield. The legendary Pokemon are going to be your vehicle for everything. They are your HM slave. I know at least one of you hasn't watched this trailer, so this is going to be a surprise for you. They are your bike. They are your fly. They are your surf. They are your rock climb. You get it fairly early in the game, supposedly.
So they're basically like all the different movement things that you got in Arceus.
Kind of, yeah.
But like combined into one?
It's like that, and it's kind of like how the bike was in Sword and Shield, where you could like drive on water and, you know.
I never played Sword and Shield.
Okay,
well, think of
I skipped that one.
Was it X and Y that had like the Pokemon like with the Go-Goat?
That was Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon.
Oh yeah.
So it's like that, only it's instead of multiple different Pokemon, it's just the legend.
One thing.
So do you have to have it in your party?
No.
Do you do that? But it also could be in your party?
I don't think we know that.
We don't know that yet. I read a rumor that it is not in your party at all until at the very end of the game, when it does join your party. Until then, it's just your car.
Interesting. Why make that?
That's just a rumor, though. I'm not, whatever. But
so I don't know if this is a popular opinion, but for me too, I also tend to never use legendaries, so like I'm
Same.
kind of okay with the legendary just being your utility, because then I still get to see it and quote unquote use it without having it just take up a spot in my party.
It does different things, like to form the vehicles depending on which version you have too, because they're the box legendaries. So
I do sometimes use legendaries a little bit, but
depends.
Love hearing Sheepin talking about Pokemon utility for reasons not related to this at all.
I'm gonna get to that eventually if you're okay with it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just very excited.
That was a very specific fetish.
Am I? Should I be scared?
No.
It's for the Pokemon project I'm working on.
I'm also receiving to my previous question earlier in this episode. What is your persona?
Rob the Hedgehog. It's an OC original.
All right.
He's Robatito.
Oh my god. So
Rob Lee.
Rob Lee.
Robert.
So there's other things in the game that they introduced too. There's going to be 3 different stories in the game. One of them is going to be the familiar go to all the gyms and beat them. You can go to the gyms in any order that you want. However, the rumor is that they do not scale with your level. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed about that because it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit, but...
So it's like gold and silver.
Kind of, yeah, in a way.
Like after goldenrod, like you could go to a critique and do that first, or you could do the...
And when you get to Kanto...
Yeah.
I guess, like... maybe there's ones that are like low level that you're intended to kind of explore around first and you get to certain ones later, but I don't know, like it reminds me of like the Pokemon Origins anime where like Red gets to Brock's gym. Brock has 6 Pokeballs, but because he's a beginner trainer with 0 badges, he just uses 2 and they're low level Pokemon. Like
that's how it should be.
Yeah, like it makes so much sense, right? Like why don't they do it? But I don't know. I mean,
playability.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I guess
like they didn't have to scale Pokemon levels necessarily, but if they just added Pokeballs for however far along you are.
Yeah. I don't know, but supposedly things aren't going to scale. Supposedly the battles are going to be similar no matter what order you do them in, but maybe there's something more to it. I don't know. That's only a rumor. It is confirmed at least that you can go to the gyms in any order, which in it of itself at least is new and interesting. But yeah, other than that, they introduced some new characters. There's going to be a different professor depending on the game you choose. There's supposedly some story surrounding this academy that you go to, and some of your fellow classmates are your rival type characters of varying personalities that are probably going to be very similar to the past like 5 games. But
let's just hope that your rival, like at least one of them, is a dick. I'm tired of this. Like,
I hope so too.
Of like
everybody
being best friends with your rival. It's like, no, he's my rival, not my friend. I want to beat him into the ground.
Gen 2 rival is best rival.
Yeah.
No,
the actual
he's the best
thief.
rival just because he's an actual asshole.
And he's like, he's a criminal.
I still think Gen 1 is the best.
Who, Gary?
Gen
Blue?
1 is the best. Yeah.
Blue.
I mean, he at least had the most FaceTime being from the anime. And
okay.
stuff.
I will agree with you that he is the best in terms of like actually being a character and like you giving a shit about him. And so I guess Gen 2 rival being best is a misnomer, but he is the biggest dick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's the second best rival.
He's the only rival who's like actually a bad person.
All right, no, he's the second best rival. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs a Mez in their life, you know.
Just so you know, Joe, every Pokemon game I play, either you are the protagonist and Jay is the rival, or vice versa. You were my Gen 2 playthrough. You were the rival, so that's all you got to know.
I always
I was the best. You said I was the best, right?
I always name him one of the stock names asshole. In mine for some reason.
Yeah, but I think you specifically used the word best.
Yeah.
So I
said it was a misnomer.
Yeah.
A bad person.
No. I heard best.
Anyway. I'm gonna be as vague as possible with this, but they did show a decent variety of Pokemon, few previews of new ones, some older ones, which is unsurprising.
There's new Pokemon. Ah,
wait! I didn't know there was new Pokemon.
Regional forms are still a thing, of course. That's all I'm gonna say. I
like it.
I like regional forms. They're kind of interesting. It kind of refreshes like some of the older ones. Yeah. The best one is still Sword and Shield Weezing, where he's like a British man with like really big top hats and smoke coming out of them. He looks like friggin' Doug Dimmadome.
That Cursor looks like one of the coolest.
If you don't know what he looks like, Joey, like you should look it up.
Oh,
like,
I've seen him.
Galarian Weezing.
I'm gonna link you guys with Doug Dimmadome.
Freaking Doug Dimmadome. Oh my god. Fairly Odd Parents, dude. You can play with up to 4 people together through the story in game, like sync up over Wi-Fi or over the internet and play together, which is awesome.
Well, right. That's really cool. Is there a way to screw over your friends and catch the Pokemon that they're trying to catch?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I want to be Team Snag'em.
Oh man, ooh. I miss Pokemon Coliseum. I want them to make another one.
Is it hard enough that you need anyone else?
I doubt it.
Well, we don't know. We don't know how it works in detail. So like, we don't know if you're just playing your individual game, but together, or if people can help you with your own like progress through the story.
You can ride around. You can ride around on your legendary car together.
We're Final Fantasy 15 now. Okay.
We're Final Fantasy 15 now. The boys in a car driving through the countryside.
That's really, I mean, that is cool. Hopefully it's implemented in a cool way, but like even as far as being kids, when you're watching the show, right? Like Ash always walked around with Bristy and Brock. Bristy and Mock. And then there was always like another character that showed up in the episode that it was like a squad, right?
Right.
So it would be cool if they do it well enough.
That's a good point.
To make you feel like you're traversing the land with your squad. Like that would be cool. Hopefully it doesn't just trivialize the game.
Yeah,
that's what I was asking.
That's what I'm worried about. Yeah. They are bringing back something from Sword and Shield called... Oh my god. I just saw what you posted, Rob.
No!
That's what I got when I searched Bristy Pokemon.
Okay, you're gonna have to do an edit and show this.
Yeah, I'll do it. So they're bringing back something from Sword and Shield called raid battles, where up to 4 people can battle like a boss Pokemon. In Sword and Shield, it was the Gigantamax thing where they grew huge and they had like super special moves and stuff. In this game, this is going to relate to the unique mechanic they're bringing in, where you fight a terastalized Pokemon. And we're going to get into what this means, if you can stick with me here. So,
They become the Earth?
You're not far from that, honestly. Terastalizing is a new mechanic where, I mean, they've been sticking to this theme where they introduce a new mechanic ever since XY with Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
Please bring back Mega Evolution. It was so fucking cool.
I certainly like Mega Evolutions a lot more than
yeah.
See, they felt like they couldn't do it because they got a cease and desist from Bandai Namco because Digimon was a much bigger company and bigger property, and they're like, you can't copy us.
Get out of here. Oh my
Although,
god.
to be fair, some of them did kind of feel like Digimon.
A little bit.
Dude, Mega Evolution
some
was
of their
literally
designs.
It is literally Digimon.
Kind of is.
It's literally what it is.
Yeah. So basically, all Pokemon, whatever you catch, has something called a Terra type, which when you terastalize a Pokemon, they transform into that type. You can use Terastalize just once in battle, just like Mega Evolution and the moves in the Sun and Moon and, Dynamaxing. All Pokemon can have a Terra type, but some can have multiple Terra types, or I'm not sure. The way I interpreted it from the trailer is that all Pokemon can have any Terra type. I don't know if some, like maybe event exclusive or like legendaries maybe can only have one or something. I don't know. But at the very least, this seems interesting as a potential like competitive battling mechanic where you can change one of your Pokemon's types to something that's unexpected, especially if it can have like multiple types. I don't even know if they can have multiple types at once. Like, as I understand, it's just one.
It turns you into a pure type, basically?
There is one where you can transform into a normal type. But
yeah, no, but I mean, okay, so that's, yeah, but you can...
He means no dual typing.
Oh, yes, I believe that's true.
That'd be kind of cool. I feel like single typing has kind of lost a lot of luster.
Yeah.
With more and more power creep of dual typing existing.
There's only
Steel Fairy.
Oh yeah, there's only like I saw a post on the Pokemon subreddit the other day saying there was like only,
or does it like
a dozen
replace one of your typings?
It's not
I don't think we
exactly
know
clear
that
yet.
level of detail.
Yeah, it's not entirely clear yet.
What would be better? Probably if it replaced the type, right?
Yeah.
So if like your primary type is ground,
I think that is how it works from what I understand.
Type it into dark or something, and then it's fire.
The form that they transform into makes me think that it replaces the type.
They transform?
Yeah, slightly. To me, they look a little silly, but imagine imagine that Psyduck that Rob posted in PM. Imagine it terastalizes into a grass type. It grows a giant crystallized flower on its head.
The Pokemon literally get blinged out.
And it becomes super shiny like a crystal statue in a way. It still like moves around and stuff, but it has just a giant crystal flower on its head.
It's a lot less cool than Mega Evolution.
I know. There's one for fire and water too, and there's probably one for every type as far as I know, but that is not confirmed yet. But yeah, right. Interesting as a mechanic, far less interesting and cool than Mega Evolution, or arguably Dynamax, or arguably
Max was dumb.
Whatever the hell the Sun and Moon Z moves. That's like, what they were called.
All your
Z crystals and
the Z crystals. Yeah. No, they were cool, but like, remember the stupid animations for some of them? Like,
they were cool, but
just
they
like
were not
literally,
cool.
literally, like one of the Pokemon would be like T-posing style, like doing the move where it's like,
yeah. Well, the Dynamax moves are all too homogenized, right?
Yeah,
they're like all the same thing, no matter what.
They're not all the same thing. Like all fire moves will give you the same fire
that's what I
max
mean.
move in that sense, but the individual moves amongst all the types are different.
Sure, but you have one move of each type.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know if it adds to the move pool either. That would be really interesting too. But yeah, I mean, I guess overall, like, Scarlet and Violet seem interesting. I'm probably gonna get it still. I don't know what version I'm gonna get, but I'm kind of liking the box legendary of Scarlet a little bit more currently, so I might get that.
If they're leaning towards something like Arceus, I mean, it's obviously not exactly. But like, if they're leaning more in that direction, I'll probably buy it.
I don't know if the catching mechanics are going to be the same, but
that's okay. I mean, that's fine. But
mainline Pokemon game versus
open
the
world,
Legends
right?
thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
So like,
I'm just looking forward to it for that too. Like, that's super cool.
Doesn't have to be exactly the same as Arceus, but like, I think Arceus was probably a move in the right direction, and I'd like to see a little bit more of that kind of
interesting
stuff
after 25 years
into a mainline game.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah, especially after Sword and Shield, that felt like just another. I mean, personally, I didn't play the DLC, as I understand the DLC is really good. The base game completely turned me off of Gen 8 as a whole.
Yeah,
same. Some of the Pokemon were cool. A lot of them weren't. Just overall, it was exactly the same as, the past like 3 generations before that, almost, in terms of the overall kind of arc you go through,
Yeah.
So, anyway,
just don't even play Pokemon. Play Temtem. It's going full release next month.
Oh my god!
I am gonna play that. I'm gonna try it.
I am gonna too.
Yeah. Especially with all of us, like we should stream that shit. I want to stream that shit if we all play it together.
I'm planning on making that one of my next videos.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'll join you on that.
I know there's a bunch of other shit coming out. Like a couple of us are playing the Wrath Classic or whatever, and it comes out at the similar time.
I should stream that too.
Gotta get on that.
Temtem.
No, Wrath of the Lich King and WoW. No, Rob will never do that.
Oh yeah, let me just go. Let me just log into WoW right now and start working on that.
So I think at least over us talking what was in this direct trailer, that was basically the end of it, by the way. Like, they revealed Terastalization, and they revealed I think the release date was already known. It's like pretty sure it's before Black Friday.
November.
Yeah, it's before Black Friday, I'm pretty sure, as it usually is. But
this year?
Yeah. This year. Yep. But I think it's clear, at least, like, all of us are still very fond of Pokemon. We like it for what it is, what it's done for us, growing up, and what it's become is a cultural zeitgeist. Is that the right way to call it? Is the right thing to call it?
Become is a copy of all of what it was before.
A cultural phenomenon. My terminology is terrible. I'm sorry. But
I think it would be interesting for another episode sometime down the road that we talk a little bit. Maybe it's when it actually releases. But we've had conversations with you, Rob, and with other people about what we think the genre could do going forward, or like what Pokemon could do going forward to kind of keep it fresh, right?
Yeah,
I think there are.
We have a little more time too.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to wrap up here, but this is I just wanted to get it out there.
Right.
That this is something that I do think we would be really interesting to pick back up on.
For sure.
About.
Yeah.
Just like the philosophy of Pokemon.
Yeah. Especially because it spawned, like, I mean, I'm sure there were previous ones out there that even we didn't know about, but like.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it was. We all know that this was a copy of Monster Rancher. So,
in a way, it kind of was. Yeah. Did Monster Rancher come out before Pokemon?
Unlock your disc.
Oh my god! Inside jokes, dude.
First episode.
Yeah. So at the very least, at the very least, I guess it should be clear, like, just the way we were talking about this direct and the trailer and everything, like, we're still very fond of it as a franchise, even if it's not all of Pokemon is necessarily for us anymore. Like, it stands the test of time, and it's just for such a wide variety of people. Like, anybody can enjoy this in some way, even like, your parents, grandparents type of deal. I mean, Lord knows there's still people out there playing Pokemon Go to this day, looking at their phones.
Ben. Well, I touched on it at the beginning of this topic. It's one of the few things that can actually make you feel like a kid again.
Right, exactly.
And I think that's why it's so ginormous, as it came out,
right at that time.
Right around that time, we were all kids. I remember, school ground, playground, whatever. And even when a new Pokemon game comes out, just by virtue of, having a little bit of that nostalgia and like walking around seeing what new Pokemon is, like it's able to still capture a little, like, obviously not as much, it's not the same. I will never enjoy a Pokemon game as much as I did the original, Pokemon Red and Blue, or even I would say Gold and Silver when my Game Boy Color.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But it does still capture a little bit of that still, even to this day.
Yeah, for sure. I remember I was one of the kids that had was given a card by a friend in like 3rd grade or something, because it was like the new craze or whatever, and literally like traded up to like a deck and was playing the card game at a time.
Second,
started buying booster packs.
Pokemon 2000. You can't fool me.
I started my collection with a Mew card.
Was that was that given? Was that a Charizard that was given to you by your brother? We're gonna have to try to get Michael on to tell that story.
No one can tell it like him. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a new story to me.
Ooh.
Really?
It's a story of intrigue, of power lust, of just sheer what's the word I'm looking for? Hatred for your brother. And it's one of
political intrigue. Okay, that's more.
It's this story literally was the inspiration for Game of Thrones.
Okay, now you're really teasing the audience, dude. Like, Jesus. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear this offline.
Well,
my
look,
God.
at the very least, the
yeah.
way my brother tells it, he's kind of right. I mean, it sounds like it anyway. It sounds like it.
Story of betrayal and bloody murder. Oh my god.
It was
only in
more
Pokemon,
red.
dude.
It was more Pokemon Red than the Red Wedding.
Oh my. Only on the playground with Pokemon, dude. Only on the playground.
So what? One last story before we wrap up, since we're on this political intrigue,
oh god,
and we were talking about trading cards.
Okay.
I have a story of my own, of my little dipshit self as a little child, trading cards, and essentially, I was gonna trade my Charizard for my friend then became friend afterwards, but for a fellow kid's Blastoise and 2 other cards. I chose the Blastoise. I don't remember what the second one was, but then I asked him to close his eyes.
Oh no.
And then I took my Charizard back.
Oh, boo.
And ran away.
Boo.
I got home, and my mom got a call from his mom.
Wow.
And I got grounded as fuck.
Yeah, but you still have the Charizard.
I don't. I actually had, my mom made me give the Charizard back and give the Blastoise and the other card back.
Wow.
So I basically, I
harsh.
lost everything. It was the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals. But then after that, believe it or not, a year later, that kid became my best friend for the next 10 years.
I'm glad it had a happy ending.
Yeah.
Joe?
No, it was not Joe. I know. We haven't talked in like 6 years, Weston. But Weston, you were a real one growing up. It's a shame that we don't talk anymore.
Let's go, Weston.
But you were cool.
I'm gonna mark this chapter in the video as "Let's Go, Weston."
Right, that's what you gotta do, Weston.
I'm sorry I was such a piece of shit kid.
I still have two. I still have 2 base set packs unopened, unweighed.
Oh yeah, you're the card collector, dude. I didn't even bring that up. Jeez.
Yeah, and 3
you and your
jungle
brother.
packs. Yeah, unweighed, unopened.
Wow, save them.
They're worth so much money.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit.
You should open them, see what you got.
Well, I had 3 base packs, and we opened one of them when we got them, and I actually got a hollow Chansey out of it. It was fantastic. So like a pristine, if you got it graded, it would be like 9.8 or 9.9 out of 10. Hollow Chansey first edition.
Insane.
Let's go.
You still have the Poliwrath that I gave you?
I do. I still have my Charizard
That's
from
a
when I was
little
a kid.
tiny R in the bottom right corner. I gave one to Tim too, and we all have one. Yeah. Anyway, Pokemon is so huge, dude. Like it always will be. I feel like, and it'll always be part of our lives in some form, and we'll probably show it to our kids one day if we have any.
Maybe you guys.
So, well, yeah.
Joe,
I said.
we're all looking
I
at
said
Joe,
if
right?
we have
We're all
any.
looking at
I
Rob.
know. A couple of you don't want kids, but yeah. Anyway. Anyway.
I might get a vasectomy.
Anyway,
Honestly, same.
On that note,
and on the topic, let's keep
on that note.
Wait.
That is
before we leave.
Oh my god, what?
Assuming there's 150 in this new game,
or more.
How many are gonna?
There's at least 100. I know.
Or more to see.
Yeah, or more to see. But let's say 150. How many are gonna be good?
About half.
Oh, like 20 of them.
Are we talking final Final Evolutions only,
Just
or
in
all
general,
All of them.
as an entire
It's
sum.
150. Out
There's
of
gonna
150,
be a shitty Rattata clone.
how many are going to be
There's gonna
good?
be a shitty Pikachu clone.
I was going to go 50.
There's gonna be a shitty Pidgey
Which
clone.
is a third.
I'd go like
Might
30
be
to 35.
30, 35. Okay.
I know there's at least
know, I
100.
wanna say-
we do not have a lot of faith in their ability to make good Pokemon anymore.
No, instead of Trubbish, it's gonna be garbage disposal.
Our most optimistic was 1/3 of them.
It's literally just gonna be a sink with a razor at the bottom, and it's
Where-
gonna be a garbage disposal unit.
We're a bunch of jaded old men.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I mean-
that's interesting.
Anyway,
I will. I think we should revisit after we play it, or at least after it's out.
I'd like to.
And we look at them all.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, how many actually were decent designs?
Yeah.
Not decent like in terms of playability or whatever, but just like.
Do they
Gen
look
5
good?
introduced 150 new ones, and Gen 5 had
Yeah.
far more than 35 good
that
designs.
one made it a point to like be mostly based on all the new ones.
Oh, was that
It was a
black and
reboot.
white?
Black and
Soft
white,
reboot.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was black and white, yeah.
I disagree.
I thought there was more than 35. I would
hate-
say
I
50 to
hated
60.
majority of them.
Well,
love
that's
you, Rob.
why it'll
Rob.
be interesting.
To each
I
their
love
own.
you, Rob.
That is our show. As always, my name is Cuhlaymore.
Oddish for Ubers.
You can find me at the Twitter profile there or at Twitch TV /Cuhlaymore. Stefan, where can they find you?
You go to YouTube and search for SuperSheepin, and then you will see all my videos.
Add to his 50 subscribers because he's making lots of shit. He needs to work on it. Motivate him.
Me and SM are coming out with a new video.
Do you want to say what game you're playing or no?
We already did.
We already
They do?
did.
We
We
literally
said-
already did.
Oh yeah. Mario RPG.
Super Mario RPG. We're having fun with it. It's a new thing, and every one of my friends, all three of you, are gonna have a video on there at some point. Other people are gonna have a video at some point. Also working on a Mega Man Legends video.
Yes.
For Rob's request.
And he's ripping it apart. He's ripping it to shreds.
I'm like halfway done with it. It's
All
I'm not. I didn't play any today. But I'll probably try to get it done.
Mega
this
Man
weekend.
Legends is one of the most underrated, I think, important games of all time. But that's
Every
just
time
my
you
opinion.
bring up the 100-question quiz every single year.
That's two.
That's Legends 2.
Is that
Legends
two?
2.
Okay,
That's Legends
okay.
2.
Normie.
and
I don't plan on playing them anytime soon.
and it led to one of the greatest college nights we've ever had.
Yeah. That's,
I don't want to hear it.
That's a
That
story.
is
legendary.
Story for another time.
It's a story, perhaps for another time.
Yes. Joe is still a goblin in the
Thank you,
basement,
J.J. Abrams.
and we're not going to say anything else otherwise.
Yeah.
Always the goblin in the basement. Always. I'm getting to Rob last because I'm giving you the chance if you want to talk about your Pokemon project here, which is one of the big reasons why I wanted you on here, because you, as a whole, I think now have one of the best, like in your head even, just a data bank of knowledge about this shit, you know? So
Pokemon
like
headcanon.
go yeah. we're not going back there. Go ahead. Whatever you want to say. Floor is yours.
I mean, we mentioned jaded old men on Pokemon, and I mean, I could have gone on an hour and a half long rant why I'm actually really not that excited for Scarlet and Violet. But yeah, it's thing. I mean, I love Pokemon, but I like Pokemon the concept, Pokemon the universe, more so than Pokemon the games. But despite that, the term sunk cost fallacy has been my life for the last 2 years, because I'm about
That's true.
1,700. Yeah, I'm about 1,700 hours in on this Pokemon video. And people are going to think like, oh, no, that's crazy, all that kind. No, it's about 1,700 hours in. But when people see it, they'll understand why. Because then the next one is supposed to be a series. Then the next one will not be many hours at all. So it's you know, I'm one hurdle away from it basically being done. Like, I need one more template made out of, and this will have been like my, 150th, 175th template. Like, I'm one away.
Yeah. You're putting a lot of
It's-
editing into this shit, dude.
If I really wanted to, I could get it done next week. It won't be done next week. It'll be done sometime within the next 3 weeks. But
you've come this far. Why rush it, right?
right. Yeah, I got 18 minutes out of I think 3 hours and 4 minutes done so far. But once I get this template done, I can get probably 2 hours within like only 5 hours of editing. It's super quick after that.
Not
So
to like dampen on any of your mood or anything, but I just got a call from up top, and they're actually taking you off this project and putting a new
please
studio
let me have
on
my
it.
life back. God damn. That's fine. So. It'll be up soon. I appreciate the chance for a plug. I
figured you didn't want to talk about it too much, but
yep, I got nothing yet. It'll be up soon. We'll link it.
Yeah.
It will get 100 views. I'll determine it's not worth it. I'll never touch it again.
Your life will feel that much more satisfying, I trust.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I mean, it really has been 2 years. Like,
I'll plug it on my massive channel with my massive following. You know.
Hey, I always appreciate it, man.
As soon as it's out, we'll all plug it for you, I'm sure. But anyway,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So anyway, this has been the Pointy Stick Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, friends, take care, stay safe, and have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
We hate you, Jay. You suck.
Love you, Jay.
Yeah, always the one-liner.
And Dom.